Today I'm off on a hike and I've got my OM-5 Mark II with me. I don't have a tripod with me, so I'm going to be shooting all my images handheld today, and I really have no idea what to expect. I'm just going off on an adventure and seeing what I can find, so I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Robertson and I'm a landscape and wildlife photographer based in Scotland. The first thing that I like to say at this point is that I'm incredibly glad I don't have a tripod with me today. This is a very tough hike all through woodland so far, and it's just been incredibly challenging. Also, you'll see in the video, I'm sure, it is so bright. 98% of the time the sun is out like this, so even though it's very considerably late in the day, it's very bright in terms of light, and that's not much use in the woodland. It's a bit brighter in these areas in the video than it truly is, but there's a lot of really dark areas and a lot of incredibly bright areas because of the type of light that we've got at the moment. So there's been no opportunities for photography. However, if I come round this way, you may be able to see just up here that I'm seeing what appears to be the highest point of the woodland. I'm seeing what looks like the end of the trees up in front of me here, and I'm seeing a lot of blue sky. So I'm hoping that I've reached the end of the woodland and some views may open up. So we'll keep going and see what happens, but yeah, I'm glad I'm not carrying a tripod. As I was walking through the woodland, because there was so many trees, it was quite a thick, congested woodland. The cold air wasn't getting through, and you're walking and it was very steep, a tough climb, you're building up body heat, and I just had a feeling that, you know, once I got higher and got clear of the trees, the temperature was going to kick in. Today it's meant to feel around 6 degrees, 7 degrees, but because I'm high up in the hills and mountains, it definitely feels a lot colder. So after I finish here, I'm going to head for cover in the trees again, and I'm going to put on an extra layer because it really is cold, much colder than you'd get the impression in the video. But yeah, I decided to wander through the trees off the path towards that clearing that I spoke about earlier, and this tree off in the distance here caught my attention. One of my favourite trees, the Scots pine, and it's being beautifully lit by the sun, and we've got a nice scene off in the distance behind it here. There's a river, there's a nice field full of yellow. So I think this has got a lot of potential. So I'm going to set up here, handheld, get my composition and then grab the shot. But you can probably see behind me at the moment we're getting some beautiful light on this scene, so I think it's going to make quite a nice photograph. So I think I'm going to stop here. I've done a fair climb, it's been tough going, and I think if you're hiking up, you know, really tough gradients, rocky terrain, tough terrain for a long distance, it's always going to be tough. But leaving behind the tripod, some other stuff, it's definitely made a difference, and I'm really glad I didn't take it with me, to be honest. It would have just been something I didn't need today. But I think I'm very fortunate. I've arrived somewhere and I think the light is just perfect. If I'd been earlier, I could have waited, of course, but it would have been too harsh. And if I'd been much later, I think the sun has a chance of going behind some clouds as it drops down. So I wouldn't really have wanted to be here much later. But you can see just behind me there's some fantastic rock structures on the ground. I'm going to make the most of those in my image. I don't like to use the term foreground too much, but they're going to feature as a strong part of my image at the base of the scene. And then if I just spin round a little bit here, look at that in the background there. That's going to be my backdrop. So my job now as the photographer, get the OM-5 Mark II out, make the most of the light. It's just beautiful on the ground behind me, and it's at times touching the side of that peak off in the distance. So I'm going to get my photographer's brain together, try and work out my composition and see what I can do. Nature gave me an opportunity to capture a nice photograph. The question now was, could an image captured handheld on my OM-5 Mark II finish up as a print that I'd be proud of?